Okay, we'll wait for everybody to jump back on. I know that probably kicks everybody off, huh? Did it kick you off, Elena, or were you able to stay on?
No, it kicked me off.
Okay, thanks, Wendy. Thanks, Elena. Thanks, Lori. Wait for Dana. Thank you for joining me today for our leader call for November. As I leave for Prague on Sunday, I don't think it's going to be possible for me to do a leader call for Prague on Monday. I was talking to Casey yesterday, and Casey said by the time you finish your workday in Prague, you finish about 8 or 9 o'clock Prague time, and they're about 8 hours ahead of me on Mountain Time. So I still have some work time. That first day, though, I don't get any sleep. Then as soon as I get to the hotel from the shuttle from the airport, we start working in actual Prague. So Monday's going to be a really busy day. I'm probably going to be not quite with it to do everything. I'm grateful for you to just jump on with me today, and let's catch up for a bit and see how things are going and see what we can do. This morning, the holiday, there's only 2 holiday products that we don't have. I'm going to mute you all for just a second. There's only 2 holiday products that we don't have access to today. And that is one that I really, really want to take to Prague with me, and it's not available. And that's the Yarrow Palm Travel Kit. And then the Herbal Tea Collection is not available today. Those are available December 1st. But everything else is available today. So I'm going to encourage you highly, get that information. Do live Facebooks today. Get that information out to your teams so they can participate and take advantage of the holiday products while there's still some left. All right. Now, you and I both know, all know, that doTERRA sells out of these every single time, right? As much as they plan ahead, as much as they bring on more and more products, they still open it up to a maximum of 4 per account, per item, right? And so they do sell out. Now we'll see how long this lasts. I would love to say it's going to last into December, but because we don't know that it will, because it never has before, I'm going to encourage you to put that information out today to your teams. Get them ordering the holiday product. And so let's brainstorm just a bit about how we can be creative and putting it out there without them feeling like we're just getting to wanting them to buy more stuff, right? So let's brainstorm some really creative ideas to put it out there, all right? I'm going to start, and then I want you to feed in here, all right? Because you all got fabulous ideas, okay? We buy from our own wholesale store with the holiday products. On an LRP, we get free products back. So we're getting paid to buy holiday products, holiday gifts for our loved ones and families, right? And that's a really great perk for me, is that I get free product credits every time I buy holiday gifts from my own wholesale store, all right? Now I want to open it up for you. So let me mute you here, and I want you to share. Wendy, if you're in the car, or you're at a conference, I think, Wendy, right?
I'm sorry, what?
I know you're traveling, right?
Yes.
And so while we've got you on here, would you give some thoughts? How can you talk to your team and get them excited about holiday products on the LRP without feeling like we're just wanting them to buy, right?
Honestly, Debbie, I'm catching about every third word of this. So hopefully I'm hearing you. It's just like in, out, in, out, in, out. Can you hear me okay?
I can hear you great, Wendy.
Okay, then I don't know what's wrong with my signal, but I guess I'm looking forward to your ideas, but I think you've been the best example to me about giving doTERRA as Christmas gifts and, showing people the value in doTERRA products. And I am always looking for the great Christmas idea or whatever, and don't often think about giving doTERRA as Christmas gifts. So what you just said, I think, is a fabulous idea, that using, my product credits to buy Christmas gifts, or even earning product credits to get Christmas gifts. I just don't always think about that. I think of, different things, or always struggling, honestly, to find different things. But I really don't have anything as far as ideas how to do that. So I'm looking forward to your ideas, I guess.
Very good. Thanks, Winnie, for piping in here. So last night, before going to bed, I went through this product catalog with Jay. And I said, Jay, what do you want to give your technicians this year? Because they all now expect that Jay is going to give them doTERRA. They now all expect that, okay? So I ordered early this morning to make sure I could get what he wanted, but here's what we talked about, okay? We're gonna give the Serenity linen spray and then one of the Lava Rock diffusers with the 5 ml bottle of wild orange, and that's gonna be his gift for all his pharmacy crew, okay? And what did we spend on that, all right? So the linen spray is $6.75. The Lava Rock is 2 for $12, okay? And then the wild orange, I've got some of those left over in my cabinet, right, from the class in the box. So that's what we're going to use. And if I don't have enough 5 ml bottles, I'm just going to put it in a sample bottle and give them 30 drops of wild orange. Okay, I've done that before with them where I've given them a sample. So they're getting, and then I'm going to put it in a little organza bag with a little note or a card, and that's going to be his gift for the pharmacy crew. All right. So I go through this with Jay, and then I said, okay, we have Hal and Jean for our family this year, his sibling, and I'm going to give the Grubby diffuser with the holiday piece. That's what we're going to give his brother and wife for Christmas. So I go through this catalog with my husband, say, okay, here's who we have for Christmas. What do you want to give them? And then I make sure I order that if I can get it. And if I can't get it, like one year, a couple of years ago when they had the Lava Rock diffusers, I missed it. They were sold out in no time at all, and I totally missed it. So then we had to go back to square one for what are we going to give them, okay? I think that year we ended up giving truffles. Chocolate that doTERRA had, all right? And so when our first choice doesn't come through because they're sold out, I go back to Jay and say, okay, Jay, they're sold out. What else do you want me to try to get, right? And so that's the importance of doing it now while they're not sold out, right? So think about who's on your gift giving list. Who do you want to give what to? And so, for instance, this little the storage case. It's really cute, but that would be. I don't need a storage case, right? But I do. I want to have it right by my bedside, on my bedside table, right? If I had a bedside table. So maybe somebody who already uses oils, maybe this is their bedside table. Okay, a storage case. So anyway, be creative with your gift giving, but go through it with your families. Okay, so other ideas.
Debbie, can you hear me?
Yes, Elena, go ahead.
So one of my favorite things I do, I've done it several years because I've moved so much. Every time I move, I can do it again. Is just to get from Aroma Tools, get those, I think it's like a 30 ml spray bottle. And then there is that room freshener recipe where you put vodka or some sort of alcohol and water and then oil. But what I found, and everybody loved it, no one's complained. I mean, they always, even in July, I get people saying, I still love that air freshener. So I use Holiday Joy. I put 8 drops, just 8 drops into water. And then I say, be sure to shake it up before you spray. And that's enough for that whole 30 ml bottle. And I don't need, like I said, I don't put any alcohol. It's so simple and so easy.
It's so simple.
And yeah, and then I make a label. I go online and I make a customized label. It's super cheap. I get a sticker that fits on the bottle, and then I put a little ribbon on it, and that's it. And everybody loved them, and they're really cost effective.
And there's lots of Christmas sprays that you can do. I've done that many years. Yeah, great plan, Elena.
Yeah.
Elena, how can you promote the holiday items to your team members to get them to take advantage of the holiday items while they're available?
Well, I think what actually is helpful, I mean, there's always a threshold like, oh my gosh, oh sure, doTERRA has something. I don't have time to look at it or figure it out. So I thought what is helpful, even for me, is just listening to this morning. You went through the items, just someone like, that's easier, believe it or not. We're so busy. So if you go online and explain what everything is and how you like it and it's going to go out, like just that perspective is, I think that's valuable. I mean, you don't have to say, I mean, it's not selling. It's just providing a service.
Absolutely. Absolutely providing a service.
Yeah, you're helping, because otherwise I have to like, where's that link? Oh my gosh. Oh, well, I'll just go to, the grocery store and get some flowers or something. You know what I mean? Like it has to be something convenient and easy, and by explaining it and having someone just listening to you explain, go through the catalog, that's really helpful.
Absolutely. And we've lost Wendy. She's now at a conference that she's helping with. So at any rate, okay, so here's a word of caution. As they order on their LRPs, they're going to get free product credits for their holiday purchases, right? And they're all limited time offerings, so they have to add at least one item that's not a limited time offering on their order. And now what's going to happen when they process their order and their cart's emptied out and they only have a lip balm or a mouthwash is what was on my order, okay? They only have a mouthwash on their order and it's not now a qualifying template and commissions is coming up. Okay, so please make your teams aware after they process their holiday order, go back in and set their template for their December order so they are eligible for commissions, okay? Be sure and remind them, because what happens is all of a sudden we're not qualified for commissions and we had an order process, right? But now we've lost that template. And so be sure to set their template for it. Help them remember to set their template back up, and then watch your qualifiers, all right? Watch those that are building the business on your team, that they are qualified for commissions as we go into commissions in the next couple of weeks. All right, so remind them, place your holiday order, and then get right back on and set your template so you're qualified for commissions. All right? Okay, other ideas on how we can put this information out to our teams in a massive, effective way to get them really excited about saving money and getting free product credits back. Other ideas?
doTERRA still sends out the email, right? With the holiday guide.
Did any of you get an email this morning?
I'm just checking, I'm looking.
They've been putting it out almost every day on Facebook leading up to it, but I did not see an email this morning. I've got my order confirmation.
Oh, I got it. Yeah, it came in 3 a.m. for Canada.
doTERRA newsletter. doTERRA newsletter.
doTERRA Canada kicking off your holiday shopping with the new 2019 holiday products.
There you go. There you go. So
but it doesn't show actually what they are. Actually, it just, in the email we got here, it just says new product, shop now, with a button.
Yep. Yep.
And then there's a little experience what clean feels like with white grapefruit and Siberian fir. So it doesn't actually show what are the products. So if that's true for the US market too, then it could be good to do an email with actually a little, with images. You could just screenshot them out of the product catalog, the PDF of the product catalog.
Do you know,
so
I've been sending emails every now and then through the messaging system, the doTERRA back office. Can you put pictures in there?
You can only include a PDF.
Oh, okay.
Well, you could include the PDF.
Yeah, you could.
Yeah.
For the holiday guide.
I put that link, Elena, on my live Facebook this morning on creating Healing Every Home. That link for the product guide is there in that live Facebook video. Okay?
Oh yeah, I can find that. Yep.
So it's there for you. And then the product of the month, the free product of the month is white grapefruit, which we haven't had yet, right?
Mm-hmm.
We've got pink grapefruit, now we get white grapefruit. So I assume it's going to be similar, but I can't answer any questions about white grapefruit yet because I haven't looked at it. Okay. So I'm excited to do another Facebook Live about that free product of the month. All right.
Yeah, another thing I did
10% off Siberian fir.
Yeah, that helps to tell people. That's what I do with all my Finland webinars. I actually went through like homemade Christmas ideas, like a sugar scrub or that room freshener or like a Epsom salt ornament. And then we went through the catalog, what was offered in Europe. And by the way, in Europe, they have 20% off certain enrollment kits this month.
Oh, sweet.
Nice.
Yeah.
Now, we do have new enrollment kits coming this month, but there is nothing said about it yet. We're supposed to have a Diamonds and Above call next week on Tuesday when I'm in Prague. In fact, they're going to announce it by Facebook, so I assume it's going to be on doTERRA's Facebook page next November 5th. Is where they're going to go through the new enrollment. Announce that. I thought people were ready to enroll today and tomorrow, and I don't know it yet. So that's something I will be finding out, but I don't know the answer to that. When I talked to Casey yesterday, she did not know anything about when the new people came out, and she did not know anything about them either. Just they announced that they were coming, but like somebody today, we're probably going to go with the older kits. I don't know. I'll post on Promoting a Healer page if I find out anything different. And that's after this call to find out about enrollment kits. All right. All right. So here's the newsletter in my email. All right. This is what it looks like, and this is what it says. Go to the newsletter. It did come about 4 hours ago at 5:15 a.m. my time. So yes, it does say about the holiday items in that newsletter. Okay. There's your shop now. Takes you to your shopping cart. This is all specific for your account.
Do you know, Debbie, like with the paid version of the back office messaging, are you able to see how many people open up the email or anything? Are there features like that? Because I have the free version of that.
You know what? I don't. In fact, I've not been able to send a group message for a while, and maybe I need to tweak something.
I didn't know that you could send an email from it. I thought they just saw it when they checked messages in the back office.
Well, that's what I guess I don't know. Because usually what I get is an email saying you have a message waiting for you.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's what I get into my email when Debbie emails through there. You have a message.
Since I've been able to do that, Elena. And so I don't know if they've tweaked that. In fact, I think I asked that question. I don't even remember the answer now.
Because that's what I've been doing for my Europe people, but I don't actually know what it ends up looking like for them.
If you're still able to do it, then we can do it still.
Yeah, I mean, I'm able to do it. I just don't know. Yeah. Other than, I don't know how many people are able. Do you have the paid version of it though?
I do, and I'm hesitant only in the regard that some things have changed on my back office, and now I'm going to have to check that now that you're saying that, because I have had credit card fraud and I've had to change my credit card again, and maybe it's not going through. So maybe that's what's been tweaked. I don't know. I'll have to check on that. So I'm making a note. Thank you, Elena, that I've got not only ask about the group messaging. Well, one thing's done. Group messaging. And paid version. Update my credit card. It's updated on my account, I think, so it shouldn't be a problem. Very good. And then enrollment kits. I'll get back with you all on when are those going live. But they're going to announce them next Tuesday on Facebook Live. Okay. So watch for that. I really want it to be available today, but there's too much going on with the holiday items, I'm afraid. So I think that's why it's delayed.
So I'm guessing there'll be a BOGO maybe this month again. That'll be a little different.
Traditionally, we've had a BOGO in November. I don't know that we can guarantee that or not. I've not heard anything, and I don't know that we will hear anything, but I will say that they did. In fact, Elena, was it you that was telling me how they're doing the BOGO in Europe?
Yeah, so in Europe, they instead of having one BOGO a day that expires, they have 3 days and 3 BOGOs to order whatever they want. Yeah.
So they're shipping only once.
Yeah, that's the benefit.
I'm unmuting you or unmute you.
Sorry. So they released all 3 BOGOs at the same time.
Yes.
Oh, that's different, hey?
Yep. Yeah, they had really good ones. They had like buy Holiday Joy, get peace for free, buy Breathe, get, and they did that like 1 week. they did 2 of them. So they lasted like, for 3 days, 1 week. And then the next week they had for 3 days, another set of 3 BOGOs. So,
That cuts down on people's shipping costs.
yeah, I think that's much smarter.
I like it.
Yeah.
I really liked the BOGO relay teams, because there was real savings in that, and you got a lot of team excitement when we created a team, and then everybody ordered one day during the BOGO week. So I loved the BOGO relays, but this last one that we had, where they had one BOGO per week, where there was a lot of disgruntlement, and I don't think they'll ever do that again.
Yeah.
So I'm excited to see how they're doing it in Europe, and I hope that follows suit in the future.
Yeah. Yep. So I'm going to do this month, I'm doing a, what is it? Spoil Yourself with doTERRA, the 3rd week of, the week before Thanksgiving. And I'm doing one in Finland as well. And I've got pretty good response already. I have 7 people in Finland. I had 3 people in August that I did one, and one person, one of the 3, already wants the enrollment kit. That and then is the perfect time. So I've had really good. I don't know how that goes along with Elise Gedevieve's model, but at least I'm sampling them. It's quite a few samples, but it seems to work really well for the really hesitant, straightforward Finnish people. Like they keep asking, "Are you sure I don't need to pay anything? Are you sure I don't?" And I'm like, "No, it's free." And so I have 7 people. So I think that's a big deal. But I don't know. What are your thoughts? Is that too many?
Oh, now I just want to ask you a question on that. Are you shipping samples from the U.S. or do you have somebody in Finland that's shipping them to Finland?
Well, that's the nice part. I have somebody in Finland shipping them in Finland. Yeah. So that's what's made it super nice. Yeah.
And so you're working with one of your builders over there in Finland?
Yeah, I have one builder there in Finland that's really active. Actually, I have a couple now, so I have another. And then in Estonia, I have some people doing the same thing in Estonian. So it seems like that's worked really well because it's free, no strings attached, and usually, like when you experience it, you want some. So that's been at least my experience.
And so when we do the Spoil Yourself, we're sending out more than one sample at a time, right? We're sending out a sample every day. We're highlighting it every day, and we're following up, right? And that's a critical piece. And creating multiple product experiences, how can they not be ready to enroll with a kit, right? When they have multiple product experiences. And so at least samples one at a time, one element at a time, with the cheapest oil for that element, preferably from the basic 10. And then we follow up. And if it's not working for them, or if they haven't used it, we ask them to pull out their sample. And here's what we're going to do. Go get your sample, and I'll tell you, and we'll talk about how to use it. And so create that, here's what we're going to do. She talks about that verbiage. Not here's what you are going to do. Here's what we're going to do to make that team approach to their wellness. They know that you're partnered with them. Okay. And so a little bit of a tweak there, but the Spoil Yourself is a really great plan. As long as the follow-up happens and the invite to the class happens and the invite to enroll happens and the invite to follow through with a wellness lifestyle happens. So that continual progression into a wellness lifestyle is just a really crucial part to building your team.
Yeah, and we're able to do a lot of that during the Spoil Yourself. And if, I think you need a new audience every time, so that's helpful. But I'm going to do it for my Americans. And at the end, we do have that invitation to come to a class, to enroll, and so on. So I think we're following that pattern.
Very good. Very good. I want to highlight Marie for a minute.
And I got to jump off in just a minute. So thank you.
Okay, thank you, Elena. Do this as long as you can. I want to highlight Marie for a minute. Marie doesn't know that she made me cry this week. And I asked who in her team was participating in the mentor calls. And she sent me a picture of a list of all her builders. And it was this long, okay? a list of all her builders that she had reached out to and how many of them were doing the mentor calls. Marie, I just felt so much joy for your efforts to reach out to all your builders and get them on these mentor calls. And it was a huge list, Marie. Tell us about that.
Well, so I thought the mentor calls would work as a good reboot because I have a lot of builders who have kind of gone inactive. So, and I started doing them alongside a new builder that I have who is really gung-ho. So as I was listening to them and as Debbie's been talking about them, kind of been feeling that that there's just, there's lots of value there. So anyways, so I've been trying to kind of just so then I just started reaching out to everybody that had built in the past. I mean, I got lots of no's along with yeses. So, and I did have struggled with getting people signed up. I ended up I still don't know why sometimes it works. It was like this intermittent problem where like, sometimes it would go no problem. And then I'd have whole days where I would try, they would try, and you would just get the same error message. So anyways, if the day that it worked, I just went and signed everybody up because I have everybody's, phone number and email. So, so, and then I've kind of been grouping them based on whose team they are on, and whether like they have a leader on top of them that can also like help out with it or not. So yeah. I guess my challenge now
there was a little bit of
is like one of the things that I really like about the leader calls, there are these mentor calls, is that you don't automatically get the next call. And, and she's very insistent that you do the small task before you move on to the next item. And so what I'm going to do now that I have this list, for the people who are, because for me, it's all about creating a system so that like I know where I'm at with people. Because you know how if you're just doing the calls with one person, it's easy to like just keep it in your head where you're at with that one person. But you start getting like, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So I've got 10 people who said yes. Well, you start getting 10 people, you can't keep that in your head anymore, right? At least I can. So now, how you have that the sample or the names list, and how there's little columns and it's like, so then what I thought I would do is create like an adapted version. This is my idea, I haven't done it yet, but to create like an adapted version of that 100 list, but instead have like all the 50 calls. So that then when I can just check in with them, I can be like, hey, what call are you at? What questions have come up so far? So I can, kind of just continue to nudge them along. So that's my next idea.
Very good. And it felt like there were a lot more than 10 people on your list that said yes. But along the way, there was a little bit of pain because several said no, right?
Oh, there's like, my list has like 30. So it's not like I'm batting average is awesome, but whatever. I can't force people to want to do it. All I can do is ask.
Yeah,
so
exactly right. So, but at any rate, I know that was a little bit painful for you to get some no's and some no's from some very key builders on your team, that they and but at any rate, we're moving forward, right? And you've got some more excitement with these mentor calls and putting it out to everybody that was building at least at one time or another, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I got like, I did get yeses from some people also that I hadn't expected. Like there was 2 people who said yes that I hadn't expected to say yes. So, and what I've been trying to do, because it's I have like a lot of builders who said yes at one point in the last 7 years and then have, changed their mind over the years or have become inactive. So, so what I was kind of trying to do is just come back to this every couple days and then like, again, take that next step. So like, I still, like, I actually started the second page of it, adding some more names of people that I haven't. So I'm going to continue trying to add names, because it was too overwhelming to like message everybody on the same day. Does that make sense? So
Absolutely right. Very. So I want to brainstorm a little bit about this because I think this is a really great idea to reach out to somebody who at one time was building or another and chose not to. I have now, because of you, Marie, I have now created a list of those people. And I'm going to reach out to Ashley, and I'm going to reach out to Brianna. And I have two Briannas. One's Brianna and one's Brianna. I'm going to reach out to both of them. I've got several people that at one time were building, Kiara, I've got several people that at one time were building. And I want to show them to these mentor calls. And I've kind of made a decision, I've made the decision that those who are doing the builder calls get my time for mentorship, okay? Mm-hmm. I love how Elise has set out in the mentor calls. Now, I've been through all of them. I had to get through all of them and implement it in my business before I got to Prague, okay? That was the stipulation. And by the way, for those of you coming in January to her basic business training, what's it called? Anyway, her basic business training on January 7th, 8th, and 9th. That is free. I don't know if it's filled yet. She has only 2,000 seats. It's free for anybody. It doesn't matter whether they're brand new enrollment or whether they've been doing the business for a while. It's free to anybody. No rank involved in that. For the training, the training on Friday and Saturday that week. So that's the free training is Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. For the training on Friday, Saturday, there is a cost to that. For Friday, for premiers and above, or for premiers and above, there is a cost. Who did we just lose? I don't know who we just lost, but Tay, we just lost Tay. So there's a cost on Friday of $99 and a cost for Friday and Saturday of $149, where she goes into strategies. Oh my gosh, my brain's dying. She goes into strategies that are okay according to doTERRA's compensation plan for really moving your business for rank advancing. So there's a name to that. Anyway, I've been to it once before a number of years ago. Really great training. But the initial training is free, and then the paid trainings are for premiers and above. So you do have to have that rank behind you in order to attend Friday or Saturday. And you can only attend Saturday's training if you're platinum and above. So those are really big trainings. But the thing behind that training is that she will not make it live streaming. You will have to come to that training having already listened to and done the work for the 50 mentor calls, okay? So she is asking that. So she did a live Facebook with Emily Wright on Monday, and I posted that on our pages. I encourage you to, on Promoting a Healer for sure. I encourage you to go back and listen to that live Facebook if you haven't. She posted the live Facebook, and Emily Wright, doTERRA is going to accept that, but integrate this training into their business training. But the thing about opening it up to all of doTERRA was that it had to be free. And so Elise is doing those first 3 days for free. Okay. And so she's abided by doTERRA's stipulations. The last training she had in Prague, the week of September 23rd, I did not know this until the live Facebook. Emily Wright went to that training, but the stipulation was that it had to be free. And I found that really interesting. And so they're going to develop some handouts, and the handouts will be free downloads. But doTERRA has put the stipulation that if they're putting it out to the whole of doTERRA, it has to be free, like their Empowered Success training is, all right? And so I think this is going to be a big change. I think it's going to create some effective daily habits for our team members that are building. I think we're going to see if they follow this plan. And certainly in the launch, if they have 100 names list up front and they follow this plan to reach out to that 100 names list the way Elise Shedevy teaches, that we're now going to launch people with business builders from the get-go, and they won't have this horrible mess in their structure that all of us know about, right? Now, we won't have a perfect structure, and from time to time we'll have fallout, right? So we'll probably never have a perfect structure. But to be able to have a builder to place new enrollments under is going to be absolutely necessary as we launch people in the 6-week to Elite program that she outlines. And that's covered also in the Empowered Success training, all right? And so I really do believe that as we reach out to our team members that have once been building and now aren't, or expressed a desire to build, and we didn't know how to support them, we now have that. We now know how to support them. And we want to engage them in these mentor calls. And we'll see that they will progress. They'll grow much more rapidly than we have because they learn the basics of the building activities from day one. And so really work through them with this, all right? I think it's going to be really magnificent. Any thoughts on that? As you've been now listening, tell me where you're at. Tell me where you're at in the calls. Those of you who are that are doing the calls, tell me where you're at.
Call 6.
Okay. But now you're inviting to classes. Sampling.
So that's still on the sampling.
You're sampling. You're sampling.
I'm still in the sampling part. Yeah.
Very good. Dana, where are you at?
I think I just finished 9 last night.
The sampling part came really easy to me, but it was a really good wake-up call again, that I don't give out samples without following up. That's a waste of time and money, right? And resources. And I haven't done sampling as actively as I was doing in the beginning. So it's also been a wake-up call to get back to what works so that I don't have, oh, I got to talk to my husband. Oh, I can't come to the class, or people not showing up.
Mm-hmm.
When they have a positive project, like these ladies coming to my class tomorrow, they are so excited to come learn. They're so excited to get more information. They're so excited to be with me tomorrow. How long has it been since you had that in your business? Where it felt like you weren't dragging people to the class, or you weren't wasting so many hours trying to get people to classes, right? They're so excited to come that I gave them the option to come to a class before I left for Prague or after Prague, and they all chose before I left for Prague. You know, they know that I'm going to be out of town for the next week, and they all chose to come before I left for Prague. That is such a, glory be, right? It wasn't drag out, pull, prod, right? They wanted to come. They asked me, when's your next class? And so that was really an exciting change, and I'm excited for that. So any other thoughts, comments as you've been going through the training? Are you glad you're doing it?
I'm just getting started. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can, Wendy.
Okay. I'm just getting started. I'm like on call 3 so far. I mean, it feels like I'm already filling empty holes that I've never figured out. So I'm super excited to get through this. Obviously with the homework, it's going to take me a while because you got to do the homework. But I think it's working. I love Marie's idea of keeping track of her people. I'm like totally loving that. I love what she's doing there. So thanks, Marie, for sharing that. I just feel like I needed this. I needed to go back to the basics, start over, and do it step by step. So I'm super excited about it.
Mm-hmm.
Now, is it helpful for me to rehash it all in our builder calls each week, or is that too much duplication and waste of your time and effort?
I was kind of thinking about
coming to the builder calls is doing the mentor training.
like I did like I love the idea of having an in-person support to the calls, and I love having the idea that it's a group thing as opposed to always one-on-one, right? Because it's just a better use of time. I think that if we want to spend the next, undetermined amount of time focusing in the builder call on the mentor calls, that's totally cool. But maybe we could do more of a like, okay, what call are you on? For those who aren't there yet, do like a 1-sentence summary of what that call was about, and then have the people spend some time talking about like how it's going for them.
Very good.
And like, and maybe role playing some stuff, or like, rather than you re-explaining what was on the call, right? Let the call do that, and have it be more of a, okay, how are you implementing it, right? Is the tracker sheet that I sent out working for you? Has anyone changed it, right? To make it, better for them, blah, blah.
Okay, very good. Now I posted the notes from the calls. Now this is this is actually a document that's on the files of promoting a healer in every home with the notes from all the calls. And the beauty, I just love Elise for this. I love her for this. That she's done this call, and I'm going to have the calls in just a minute. But she's made notes at the end of each call, and you can copy and paste it. All those notes. I've done that for you. So that's here. In the files of promoting your home where you can find these calls. So go back to, what's in call number 6. Your assignment is sound with girls, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so then I can talk to Marie about that if that's where she's at. This morning in our call, Dana helped me role play with some tips for reaching out to people on your neighbors. So she's got all those notes there for you that we can play with. That save us tons of note taking time. Now I'm a note taker. I have another document that has all my notes in additional days. That's just how I learn. That's why I can't memorize very well. I write everything down. I know where to find it, so I don't have to memorize. But anyway, I wish I okay. So anyway, that's there in the files that you can use with your mentor calls with your team. I love how Elise has. I'm going to stop here now. I love how Elise has. Actually, let's see. I love how Elise says, Marie, I'm getting a lot of your typing.
No, it's not me.
It's not you. I love how Elise has actually walked us through how to mentor our team members that are doing this. In the later calls, she goes through all of that. She goes through leader calls. And our weekly leader calls, or our team, she calls them team calls, and that's our we talked about that our weekly team calls need to take place at the beginning of the week. Mine have been on Fridays now for how many years? I think it's 3 years. I'm changing that because it took me a long time to get anybody to come to my Friday fielder calls. If I change them to Monday, what's that going to do to attendance? Is it going to, yes, it's going to alter it initially, but I want your support or your feedback on that. Because she says if you do it at the end of the week, they're gearing up for the weekend. They're not going to implement what you're talking about on your team calls if that at the end of the week. And I think that's really true. So I want your thoughts on that. If I change the team calls to Monday morning, who's going to be really annoyed by that? Dana, we're usually listening to Deb Erickson at 8:30 on Monday morning.
Yeah, I really feel like I can't do one more thing on Monday because I already do my team builder call on Monday night and I do Deb Erickson Monday morning. And then I usually have a strategy call with my account manager. And I'm also doing a mentor call with one of my builders on Monday. So somewhere I have to have time to do other things.
There you go. And I get you because she recommends doing her strategy calls with your builders, your qualifiers on Mondays as well. So Mondays is really Elise Chedevy's business prep day for the entire week.
I do think there is some validity in the idea that, like, if you're targeting your call towards, actionable items, the weekend is not really most people's time to do those actionable items. So yeah, I think like if you're just working, it's like a momentum tailwind or a headwind. And I feel like there is a little bit more of a tailwind on a Monday versus, yeah.
I agree. I think that, the Mondays are great for actionable, but I don't think I can do Mondays, honestly. Mondays are nuts for me, but Fridays are sometimes nuts too. So, but Mondays are always worse. But yeah, I like the idea of having that actionable thing. So maybe I just need to change my life and make it work because it might kick me into action better on Monday.
Yeah, to get a head start on the week. I want a reply from you on that regard over the next couple of days. Okay, over the weekend. knowing that I'm headed for Prague at 3 a.m. on Sunday morning, okay? So I want you to send me an email. I'll send this out in the notes or have Tay do it. But I want a reply from you about changing our calls to Monday, if you can tweak some things or not. And I would love to do strategy calls with each of you on Mondays. And Elise outlines the entire agenda for those strategy calls. And it's beautiful and it's simple and it's duplicatable. The team call, she says, should last no more than 30 minutes. Mine are lasting an hour and 15 minutes, my builder calls. I think we could get more people on them if they weren't so long, but it's like, I'm gonna have to shut my mouth to get through the information on the builder calls. I don't know that would allow us. And then she spreads the opportunity. So each one of you would participate in training on the weekly builder calls. You'll do the 10-minute training session or the 15-minute training session. We'll have another team member highlighted. So we'll switch up who's being highlighted each week rather than everybody sharing their highlights for the week. Because as builders, we kind of know what our team members are doing as we're connecting with them through the week, right? And so we'll know, like, you know, I was moved to emotion when I saw your list, Marie. I was like, I'm so grateful that she reached out to all the builders that were once on her team, because there were people on that team that I didn't remember were building. And some of them said yes. And I was like, oh my gosh, this is awesome. This is absolutely awesome. And so I would like to propose that we move the calls to Monday, but that means everybody has to tweak their schedule. So we can't do it starting Monday, right? So I want you to see if you can make that work, or if it's just not going to work and you're going to have to bail out. And then I want you to look at, I have never done business on Sundays. I'll be honest with you. No, I can't say never, but I try not to ever do business on Sundays. I try to keep that to my family day. If we did a call late Sunday night, is that a possibility? That would be a team call. You say no to, Marie. Yeah, I'm with you, okay? And so if Mondays are just not an option.
I just love having Sundays. I find that because of what we do, the boundaries between work and home are not, it's not built in intrinsically into what we do. When you have a 9-to-5 job, that barrier between home and work life, it's somewhat built into the structure of your job. Whereas with what we do, right? Like, I find that on Sundays, I just ignore my phone. Sometimes my family gets mad at me. And I say that's because there's no way for my phone really easily to like separate between work and, personal life. And so like, I'll get, texts, emails, Facebook messages that are work related on weekends. And so I just ignore my phone entirely, and then I won't even think about it, because otherwise you see the message there and you start thinking about it. So anyways, so I've worked super hard to try to create that separation just for my own sanity. And there's definitely been times where I haven't had that separation, and it's like you run the risk of burnout, I think. Well, for me personally. So anywho, that's my take on it. So yeah, that's why please no Sundays.
I've tried always to leave Sundays as my special day. That's my Sabbath. That's my day of rest. That's my day to pull back from all the worldly concerns out there. And so I agree with you. So I would really prefer not to do that. So I want you to come up with, okay, what's another option? If Mondays just flat, so I want an email from you. I would really like to go for Mondays and see if we can do a little bit of tweaking, but I want to talk to each of you more often. In Elise's phone calls, or her mentor calls, I've realized that I don't connect with you. We connect on a leader call once a month, but I need to connect with each of you individually more often. And I want to know, she recommends weekly, and I would love to get back to weekly. And it's not a long call necessarily. Well, actually hers are. For her qualifiers, it's an hour-long call. If we don't need an hour-long call, we don't need an hour-long call. But I want to know your feedback on that, all right? Tay, I hope you're taking notes, because I'm not. I thank you for being on this call. So I want to know, okay, when can we do a team call? Can we switch it from Fridays to Mondays? Can we plan in our strategy calls where I'm talking with each one of my qualifiers on Mondays, and I'm talking with you for an hour? Could you talk with your builders for an hour or for a half hour on Mondays? If they're working full time, she gives them an hour. If they're working part time, she gives them a half an hour. So, and you're not to that point in mentor calls yet, so you haven't heard what I've heard, but there, you can skip ahead if you want to for just a minute, but I don't know that I'd recommend that or not. But it's a great plan. And I love starting off the week with a connection rather than ending the week just before we go into the weekend to then implement, what we're talking about. On her strategy calls, together we make goals. You have a part in that. I have a part in that. I follow up with you. I hold you accountable. Together we're making goals, and together we have something to be accountable for. And I really like her recommendations. So I want you to think about that. Team calls, strategy calls with me for my qualifying builders on a weekly basis. And then you duplicating that with your teams. I know some of you already do that. So think about that and see what we can create. Okay. On our team calls, she does it. You bring your people to my team call until you hit diamond. Then you do your own. Is that what you want to do? I think there's power in having more people on the call. But we can't have everybody share their wins if we have 40 people on the call, right? So we've got to highlight one person, and that's how she keeps it to a half hour. She highlights one person's wins, and she alternates, and it can't be the same person. It's got to be somebody different each week. So she highlights the wins. And so as I'm talking with you in my weekly calls, you can tell me what's going on with your builders. And you can tell me who we need to highlight next week. Make sense?
Mm-hmm.
All right, tell me your thoughts as we talk about this.
I like the idea of keeping it together.
I do too.
I mean, if we get to the point where we have like 50 people on the call, then we can relook at it then.
Yeah. So then you won't necessarily need to have your own team call. But do we do it at night then? Do we do it during the day? If your builders are out in a job during the day, then maybe an 8:30 or a morning call. I mean, and Dana, I don't know how I feel about knocking off Deb Erickson's calls. We can go back and watch recordings, but I don't know how I feel about uprooting that Monday mindset mastery call with Deb Erickson. So I don't know that I want to do it at 8:30 Monday, but I want to know what time would work for everybody. And if we did a team call, maybe the Monday night is our better option. Well, how late do we go? Lisa's schedule 9:00 on Monday nights so that everybody's got their kids to bed if they need to. 9:00 on Monday nights is her team call. But if I do it 9:00 Mountain Daylight Time, that's 8:00 Pacific, that's 10:00, that's 11:00 Eastern Time. Who's going to get on a call with me at 11:00? Nobody.
Yeah.
So, the time difference, and they'll be recorded, the recordings will be posted. They'll be hopefully not as long, hopefully a half hour. We can work, and I'm going to be really frank, that's hard for me to do. We can work towards making it a half hour so that more people will get on, and it's not a waste of anybody's time. They see it as valuable. And there's an agenda to those team calls, and everybody participates. Not on the same time, but we rotate. Who's doing a 5-minute mentor or a 5-minute training? Who's doing a 15-minute training? Who's doing an oil? Oh, it's an oil spotlight that lasts a minute, and so we switch off who's doing an oil spotlight, and it's a different oil. And it'd be good to go through these new oils again. I feel like I can't remember anything on these new oils. I'm constantly looking at my notes. But there's an agenda for it, and I'll totally outline that for you and what that agenda is, and make some assignments so that everybody's participating and it's not just Debbie Gordon preaching to the choir constantly. I think people get tired of hearing me. And so when we spread the wealth, it also puts them in a leadership role, right? They're training from the get-go. So we have a team member do the oil spotlight. Now, I want you to think of your teams, and as you're working with your builders, there might be some team members that say, I'm not going to do Monday nights, just like some of you said, I'm not going to do Sundays. And so at any rate, think about that. Okay, let's see what we can do to create a little bit of a changeover to where we're starting the week on gung ho and on fire, rather than on Friday's meeting and we go into the weekend and forget what we just talked about and don't implement anything. And it sort of leaves us by Monday again. Sort of leaves us. Okay, so I would like to change this over sooner than later. It's not going to happen overnight, but maybe we could start this in December, that our team calls are now going to be on Mondays. And I put it out there for the masses. So give me your feedback in an email on that. So when we send out the notes and the recording to this call, there'll be some feedback, and I want you to just reply to all on your thoughts about this. And I want to know your thoughts, okay? I want to get everybody's reply back. And some, Jade and Ben are diamonds. Elise pulls them all into this team thing until they hit diamond, and then they can go do their own thing if they want. And so if I change Ben and Jade's schedule, I can't. They're not on this call because they've got something else going right now. And so they really hold to, no, I can't do a last minute change. Well, I appreciate you guys for doing a last minute change. I'll be really open with you. Okay. I know this isn't going to work for everybody, but I would like to suggest that we maybe start doing some tweaking to where we can over time make it work for everybody. Good with that?
If anybody took notes, will you please send them to me? I will be listening to this again later, but I'd like to get your input.
And I think everybody's got two.
And then I can pull it together and send out an email to everybody.
Thank you, Tay. All right, while you're on here, Tay, too, I checked Synduit this morning. There's no Essential Spotlight yet available, Tay.
Okay.
But I hope to get my newsletter out before I leave town. If not, Tay, I'll send a personal message and have you do that next week.
Okay. Just go ahead and type out the personal message today and get that to me, and then I'll just make sure it goes out.
That's on my list. Okay. All right. No. So moving forward now, Elena talked about, I just finished the cleanse with my team, but I wasn't active. I really encouraged them to go to the files, and I wasn't actively doing it. So I'm not sure that the cleanse this time worked really well for everybody. I wasn't doing live Facebooks every day. I wasn't doing posts every day. I was doing posts like every 10 days. I was talking about it in my Facebook lives or in my weekly calls. But it could have been better for the cleanse this time. I was doing it. I finished the cleanse. I'm headed to Prague now, still taking my usual now of my Lifelong Vitality Pack, my DDR Prime, my Terrazyme with probiotics. That's something I do all day long, along with my On Guard soft gels. So I'm back to kind of my routine schedule, adding in the new products that I absolutely love. Anybody had some really great product experiences with the new products from convention that they want to share? I'll just start here for just a minute. That my husband and I have been using celery seed every day. And he came to me yesterday. In fact, it was actually the day before yesterday. He was dripping the celery seed over his tongue. And he was like, and I'm like, you don't have to drip it so much. There's plenty in there. And he says, no, there's not. It's empty. I said, it is? I just got some this morning. There was more. And so this morning he said, order some more celery seed. And so we've already blown through 3 convention packs in our family. We've been really experimenting with these products. And so I start my day with my quart of warm water. I put celery seed and lemon oil under my tongue, drink my quart of warm water, go to the bathroom, and then I juice my celery, which I haven't done yet this morning. That's as far as I've gotten is my quart of water. And it's already what time of the day. So I guess I'm on intermittent fasting today. But at any rate, I love taking the turmeric with that warm water and the Europalm Cellular Complex. I've got my 15-year-old on the Cellular Complex, and it's helping his cystic acne. I am so pleased. He's not consistent yet. He's taken it haphazardly, but he gets it at least 3 or 4 times a week, and we're already seeing results. And I said to him last night, I think if you took that every day, you'd be seeing better results. So we are seeing great results with the Cellular Complex. My husband is taking the adaptive capsules at night because I ran out of Serenity soft gels. And within minutes, it's about 5 to 7 minutes, and he's like, I'm going to bed. This is kicked in and I'm already tired. It chills him so much that he interprets it as making him sleepy. I like taking the adaptive capsules in the morning, but I do take them at night as well. So I've been taking adaptive capsules morning and night, and I am out of adaptive capsules in 3 convention kits. And so, and the convention kits are going away as they run out. That's it. They're while supplies last now is where the convention kits are at. So if you want to get another convention kit, make it soon while supplies last. Okay. But I am loving the new products. What is your experience? I am bathing myself in that Yarrow Pom body serum, and it soaks in so well. I'm not oily. By the time I rub it on my arms and my legs, I'm not oily at all. And my skin's not dry, where my husband has cracked, bleeding, dry hands, and seriously bleeding hands. And I said to him, he's doing it at night. And I said, Jay, you need to start in the morning with this too. I meant to rub him down yesterday with that body serum on his hands and give him a hand massage because his hands were just so bad yesterday. But what have been, I'm going to shut up now. And what have been your experiences with these new products?
I only got them in the mail 2 days ago, so I just started. So I have nothing to report yet.
So Greg and I have been taking adaptive every day since we got the kit at convention. And so he's doing very well, as am I. He was under so much stress for work while we were at convention that he actually spent most of convention out in the hallway working on his laptop. And so he was having like a lot of anxiety. And so within 3 days, I don't know how to describe it, like the chest tightness that you get with anxiety was gone. And it hasn't came back. So we take it every night before we go to bed, because that's just the easiest time for us to remember to take it. And doing, really well. I mean, it doesn't fix the stress, but at least it fixes all the side effects of stress. And then I didn't start celery seed right away because I wasn't really sure what I wanted to do with it. So I started putting 4 drops in a capsule at night, and then I do 2 in the morning and I have other oils that I put with it. And one thing I've noticed, we've traveled so much, like I'm getting ready to leave for Laramie again here in a little bit. And we have to eat out because we're just on the go and there's no possible way that I can even cook. I mean, I intermittent fast anyway, so I only eat 2 meals a day as it is. And I really don't want to skip a 3rd meal a day. So, or the 2nd meal and only eat 1. But what I've noticed with the celery seed is it keeps all that sodium balanced in my body. I mean, you try to eat as healthy as you can, but no matter what, you're going to get extra sodium. And that typically, after I hit 40, I have to say sodium bothers me and it makes me swell. And so I haven't been. And with the amount of sitting I do, it's a 4-hour drive one way to Laramie every weekend that we've been doing. So 8 hours of sitting within 3 days' time. It's a lot of sitting, and I'm doing well because of that. It's the only thing that I've done different.
Very good. Very good. And I loved how you said that Greg hasn't had any anxiety attacks since you started the adaptive.
Right. Yep.
Yeah. Huge blessing.
I'm kind of
Wendy, are
taking.
you able to join
Yeah.
us? Are you able to pipe in here at all? Any experience?
Can you hear me?
Yeah. go ahead.
Can you hear me? Okay. I am kind of trying it all, and I don't know that I'm noticing what's happening. That's what I think. I mean, I know that I have really good days, and I know that I have really bad days, but my stress at work has been extremely intense right now. And then there's extra stress at home too that you're aware of. But I think that I'm seeing results, and I'm just not recognizing them because I'm not a mess, and I should be a mess. So I know that something's working. I just haven't figured out what, because I just started taking it all because I knew I needed it.
Yeah.
So as far as what's doing what, like I haven't figured out, what's helping with what. I know that there's days that I miss my celery oil. I'm just not in the habit yet. of that one because I just don't have a good system yet. But I know those days I struggle more with my stomach issues, but also there's been intense stress that I know is feeding that too. So the adaptive, I keep forgetting to bring the oil to work, which is what I need to do. I'm taking the capsules and then I use the oil in the morning and then I forget to bring it. And there's been so many times through the day that I'm like, oh my gosh, I want that oil right now. So if I can just remember to get it with me and keep it in my purse or something, I know that there's huge potential there to even calm me more. But I am taking the capsules every day and I know it's making a difference. So I just haven't pinpointed the specifics. What?
I started wearing my diffuser necklace and putting adaptive oil on that.
That's a great idea.
That's been really helpful for me. I had my diffuser necklace in my jewelry box. I wasn't using it. And I've fallen in love with it again. And I think it might be the adaptive because I really like having it with me. And so I've just been doing this all day long. So that's really helpful. As I say that, though, I don't have it on yet this morning. I haven't showered yet this morning. You hit me unshowered. Isn't that terrible? Yeah. So anyway.
I just wanted to pipe in.
Please, T.
So I noticed that my body was kind of rejecting my medication. I was having more like panic attacks lately. And so while I was in Colorado for a week, I took that time to wean myself off of Lexapro. Now, I'm not going to say everybody should go and get off their meds. Obviously, some people really need them. But I felt like it was time for me. And it was so nice to have adaptive there to rely on as my body was readjusting. And I feel just as good as I could hope for. I haven't been having any panic attacks, and as I need it, I will take adaptive as my reliable backup. I know you want me to take it every day, but I'd also I want to see where I'm at as myself right now, and then I may incorporate that later.
Very good. Very good. Yeah, I just find that I don't get so riled. I've been using it daily. I find that I don't get so riled. But I honestly, I just have to say this. I've really loved how my husband has embraced these new products. He was at convention. Now he's been at convention for the last several years, but he was at convention. He heard all the science. He heard all the talk of the oils, which sad to say that the live streaming recordings are no longer available. I haven't tried this morning, but I was hoping to get through some more this week and I didn't. There's just been too much going on. But I've loved having the live stream recordings available to go back through all the new products.
I meant to re-listen to some more of it too, Debbie. I'm with you on that. I was like, how did it October already disappear?
How did it disappear already, right? So, but anyway, I've loved how my husband has embraced the new products and has used them. Now, he's not used the Yaropalm Cellular Complex. My 15-year-old and I have been busting through those. But he's used the turmeric. He takes the turmeric regularly, the dual cap. He uses the celery seed oil every day. He uses the adaptive every night. I ran out of Serenity, and that's how that got started, right? I ordered some more Serenity, but I haven't brought it out yet because Serenity soft gels, because I'm loving how he's embracing these new products. And then he's not using it as much as he needs to. I told him, I said, Jay, take one to the pharmacy of the Yaropalm body serum. I said, Jay, take one to the pharmacy so you can use it during the day. Because his hands are so bad right now, just cracked and bleeding all over. It's so embarrassing he just touches something and his hand's bleeding again, anywhere and everywhere. And it's just like, Jay, you've got to put this stuff on your hands. So I hope to get him really weaned onto that, or that's not the word I want. I want him to get onto that body serum. What else for the new products? Oh, the black spruce. Oh my gosh. Love, 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 love. I've been recommending that to lots of people. The thing that Emily Wright, and so the Diamonds and Above were on a call with Emily Wright and David Hill that was called a non-compliant call. We could not record it. We could only take notes, and I did share that in a live Facebook, my notes with you. But at any rate, one of the things that Emily Wright said I had another thing come to mind. She recommends that Yaropalm body serum as a personal lubricant for intimacy. And I'll just be really frank with you, TMI, we absolutely love it. And so there you have it. Debbie and Jay love it, okay, for a personal lubricant. Then another thing she said was that, now I lost my train of thought. I went somewhere where I didn't plan on going. But another thing she mentioned on that call was they talked a great deal. They probably talked 30 minutes about the adaptive line itself, and talking about all the science behind that, which was covered pretty well with at convention. And so if you were able to take notes or listen to that, you got that information as well as I did. But then with the turmeric, we're just seeing such great things with it reducing inflammation. And so, I know I was going with the black spruce. Okay. On the black spruce, on that call, Emily said that the black spruce helps us anytime we're feeling not enoughness in any way. I'm not enough as a mother. I'm not enough as a doTERRA wellness advocate. I'm not enough as a wife. I'm not enough. I don't have enough money. I don't have enough time. I don't have enough resources. I don't have enough builders. I don't have enough. Anytime we're thinking not enoughness, she says, pull out the black spruce. And I have recommended that to so many people. It's on my order. It was added to my order this morning.
So I've been using black spruce, citronella, and lime. And then sometimes I throw in spearmint in the diffuser, and I love it. I just do 2 drops of citronella, 2 drops of black spruce, and then I do like 3 lime, and sometimes I throw in a couple spearmint, and it is amazing.
Okay.
I've been doing it for about 10 days.
Really great with that not enoughness, huh?
Mm-hmm.
And that citronella is really powerful too. I spent maybe a minute or 2 on citronella, but the thing I saw this time with the new products is that the lemon eucalyptus and the citronella are other great antifungals that we can use. Now, the lemon eucalyptus is not labeled for internal use, but Emily talked about that on the call and said she's using it internally. It is great for candida. And so lemon eucalyptus and the melaleuca are not approved by the FDA for grass, generally regarded as safe for internal consumption. So they had to change the label because of the FDA compliance. But she still used the melaleuca internally, and she's using the lemon eucalyptus internally. And I did not plan on doing that because of the labeling. And after Emily Wright said that on the call, anybody that's having issues with candida. Now, you know, I've always said if the label doesn't say supplement facts, then we don't use it internally. I don't know the best way around that except for to say I'm using it internally. Emily Wright, with one of our executives, is using it internally. We're not going to stop using it internally, but this is why it's labeled not, because the FDA labeling stipulations indicate that we cannot put it on there if it's not generally regarded as safe.
Can I show you guys this?
Yes, please. Can you get it?
All right. So this is what I've been working on while we've been chatting. So for the mentor call. So I don't know if it comes through, but I'm just putting like call 1 listen to call 1. And then, you know, the action item for that was share call 1 or share calls, and then listen call 2, create names list. So I just went off of your doc so that I could pull the assignment that goes with each call, and I'll, anyways, I don't know how this will work, but that's what I'm going to try. I didn't make a doc. I just did it freehand on a piece of paper just to try it out and see if it works.
Very good, Marie. Thank you. That's called putting an idea out there and doing it, right? Taking action right away, implementing it right now. So, okay. Well, at any rate, let me know your thoughts on that. Okay. So I'm loving the new products. My husband's loving the new products. Together, we're loving the new products, and we've had multiple experiences with all the new products. I received, who has an iris on their team? I think it's you, Marie. An iris, does that make it ring a bell at all?
Dominic?
Yes, that's exactly right. She Facebook messaged me today and asked me about, what I recommended for arthritis and fibromyalgia. And and she said, I think she said, is turmeric, is the new turmeric dual caps, that's what she said, is the new turmeric dual caps effective for arthritis, and would they help me with my fibromyalgia? And I said, absolutely yes. The new turmeric is fantastic for inflammatory conditions, and both of those are inflammatory conditions. And I did recommend that she add also this celery seed, and then told her, consider the oils for discomfort too, for pain associated with fibromyalgia and arthritis, the copaiba and the frankincense and marjoram gel caps. Those were the really quick. She did that at 8:28 before I started my builder call. I quickly responded that way. And so I think we've got some really great solutions for people that are struggling with inflammation and pain of any kind. We've got some really, really great products for them. We always have, but now we've got some new products too that they're actually hearing about, right? That are dosed just for them with the dual cap and the so anyway, good things are coming, all right? As we get out there and share. Towards the end of Elise's call, she talks about studies again. I would like you to think about when you want to do another study, and maybe November and December aren't the time, but I'm thinking January. I put out another study. Actually, I love studies for getting new prospects. When we put out to the masses that we're doing a study on sleep, or we're doing a study on inflammation, or we're doing a study on pain, or we're doing a study on sleep, or we're doing a study on digestion, if we put out to the masses that we're looking for study participants, and we provide the study samples for free, I think that's a really great way to bring in new people to our circle of influence. And so I don't know that I'm personally going to wait till January, but I want to know what your thoughts are, because you're not all through the phone calls. You haven't had that review of how she does studies, and I'm still pulling that information together. I don't have it. Kyle Kirschbaum, some of you know Kyle and Kirsten Kirsch. It's so hard to say. Kyle and Kirsten Kirschbaum. That's really tough to say. But they did a whole bunch of training on studies. And I'm going through his stuff right now. I haven't touched it in a week. But when you get to that part in the training call, she refers you to Kyle Kirschbaum's stuff. Kyle is easier to say than Kirsten Kirschbaum. But it's really outlined beautifully. And so I'm looking forward to putting out some studies into the masses where we can get more prospects interested. I'm also finding that when I listen to those calls, that I started putting names of people and added them to my names list, names of people that specifically struggle with pain or sleep or digestion issues or inflammation. So there's some really great stuff we can do with these new products. Will it cost us some money? Yes, it will. But if it brings in new prospects in the end that embrace a wellness lifestyle, it's all worth it. And that's something that she says is that you cannot afford not to sample for free. So she says samples are free. You cannot afford not to sample because of the way it grows your business. And so I want you to see that point in it, that in this business, as we help people step into a wellness lifestyle, they want to know the products work, and sampling is the best way to do that. So, all right, any things that I have not covered? Oh, another thing I want to cover, okay? And that is with the weekly wellness calls, okay? I'm having 1 or 2 people show up. It's not enough to continue the calls if I have just 1 or 2, okay? I want more feed into that, but I want more feedback. If nobody's coming, then we don't really know if the plan I implemented a few months ago is actually helping our team. With the first call each week being the lifestyle overview, the second call being a live Q&A, the third call being the Natural Solutions 101 class, the fourth call being a specialty class, and if there's a 5th week being a business class, I don't know that I have any feedback from, is that really working for our team? And I want to do what's going to work. So we change that weekly wellness call to just a team call? But the team call is mostly for builders, right? So I want some feedback on those weekly wellness calls.
I feel like those were more for product education.
They were. Mm-hmm.
Debbie, I really love knowing that if I'm not engaged in a class on that night, there's always a night I can throw people into an education. But I will admit that I've been really bad the last month, so 2 months actually, on getting people on it. So I did really good at first, and then I kind of I'm just not getting people on it. So it's my fault as much as anything, and I'll take the blame for that. But I
You know,
do love
and
the option there if we can try again or keep trying, I guess.
so as Wendy's been caring for our mother for largely the last 6 weeks, we get out of habits, don't we? When life happens, we get out of habits. And so, okay, so let's call this a rah-rah for let's get people back on those weekly wellness calls. Okay, now this next week I'm going to be in Prague. Chelsea's not on this call today, and she's got a really sick child with croup. I got an oil for that, and it works really well for my family. And so we talked yesterday, and hopefully we can move him through that quickly. But at any rate, I would like to see Chelsea volunteered for this next Tuesday night. Hopefully she can do it. And Marie, you're going to take our builder call for Friday, right?
Mm-hmm.
You're going to facilitate our builder call on Friday. But I would love to see maybe some sharing of the classes from each of you. And I think that might help remind you to get your people on the classes if you're sharing the responsibility to teach them. Who's available to do that on Tuesday nights at 7:30 Mountain Daylight Time?
Mm-hmm. Not every Tuesday, but yeah, depending on the birthing schedule.
Yeah, if I just get at my schedule, I can help.
Okay, very good. Dana, are Tuesday nights still out for you? Are you still with youth group on Tuesday nights?
So like for me, I can do some Tuesdays, I just not every Tuesday. And I end up doing classes sometimes on Tuesday night. So like local live in-person classes.
Okay, that's right, you do. So Tay put that in the notes too, that we want to know who's available to help with Tuesday nights. Jade and Ben stopped their Tuesday night classes for a time, and now they're back doing Tuesday night classes. And I think they're doing training calls on Tuesday nights. I'm not sure exactly. They're doing calls at the same time I am, so I'm not on their calls at all. So we all do what works for our schedule, and as your teams get bigger and as you move up through the leadership ranks, it's really okay to go off on your own. So you don't have to support my team stuff. That's for those who need the support. Okay, so know that. But if you're not participating in my team calls, I hope you're doing your own. Okay, so get people on these calls. It's so much nicer if I'm not talking to Janelle. And Tuesday night I was talking to Janelle. And Janelle's awesome. Janelle's very, she comes back almost every week. But it's hard to have a really good discussion when I've got one person on the call.
Mm-hmm.
If I'm doing a Q&A and I have nobody on the call, it's kind of a waste, right? It's like, what do I talk about now?
Can we make the Q&A more like more focused instead of like open-ended?
Like, give me an idea. So you give me your,
Like do a Q&A on adaptive.
okay.
Like, I think,
Okay.
like, I had a lot of people interested in that one because there's a lot of people interested in that product and how it works, right? So if we have a Q&A that's like got a little bit of a focus, like a Q&A on, on inflammation and pain, right? So you don't necessarily, like, so that it's not as heavy as making up a whole PowerPoint. It's still a Q&A. But there's a little bit of a focus, and if you say, hey, you can still bring your own questions, and we'll hopefully get to everything. But if there was, you think that might be possible?
Absolutely, that's a great idea. Now,
So if we're doing that, can we plan out the next couple Q&A? Like for the next 3 months?
Yes, let's plan it out now. So
I know, because my problem is that I like,
absolutely.
and this is not a problem with like, this is me, and I have it in all my shows, all my areas. I tend to start to market things like 2 days before they happen, and I need to start marketing things like more like 2 weeks before they happen, and I'm not always so good about doing that.
Okay. All right, so let's have the next 3 weeks. Let me pull up my calendar for November. So on the 12th of November will be our next Q&A. And then
So can we do adaptive for that one?
Yes. Now I did do adaptive on the weekly wellness. I did do a spotlight the next week. I did adaptive.
But I missed it because I didn't realize you were doing it. So like, I just said, I told everyone, Debbie's mom got sick, so we had to cancel a class. And then I didn't, sort of follow up with that. And I don't know, did you get a lot of people on that one for the adapt? Like, you know what I mean? Like, if we do it again, will we still get people? I feel like my people would.
I think we will, because it's still a new product. It's still a very new
Okay.
product. We're all experimenting.
Okay. So November 12th, adaptive.
Okay. And then December 10th.
I'll make note of that on the event pages.
Okay, that'd be great. Tay, thank you.
Mhm.
Well, on December 10th, any suggestions?
Do we want to do something around gifts, or do we want to do something around like health concern? Because either could be interesting.
Hmm.
December's almost too late for gifts. If you're going to do December's, that should be good.
That should
I
be
think
like
we're
the
gonna
10th then.
To do
Maybe.
live Facebooks.
For
Let's
gifts,
live
we'll just do
Facebooks.
live Facebooks. Okay. All
Yeah,
right.
that's a good
And
idea.
then what about inflammation as being sort of like pain and inflammation?
That's what I was thinking in December. December 10th.
What about the digestive stuff, since it's the holidays and people eat a bunch?
Oh, yeah, that might be even make even better sense.
So like you could do peppermint soft gels and celery seed or something
Mhm.
along with digest then, obviously. But if you just like know that you're going to talk about digestive issues, and then you could cover those products with it. Because I know like everybody's willpower isn't so good.
Okay, let me ask you a question then.
Okay.
If we talk about digestive issues, okay, in December, on December 10th,
Yes.
and we highlight celery seed and turmeric is going to be inflammation on January. We'll do that in January. If we highlight products for digestive concerns, would it not be an option to roll out a digestive study, or would that just be too much for the holiday season?
You know what? If you roll out the digestive study for like after, like talk it up, but say that it launches into January, so that there's a bit more of a lead up, and then you're not competing with people's time and attention over the holidays. But it's a great time to plant the seed, right? I don't know. That's my take on it.
I like that.
And then in January, talk about pain and inflammation and launch the study in February.
So then it'd be January 14th.
January 14th. Mhm.
And then maybe what about February? What if we had a Q&A, Q&A all about kids?
You want to do that in February?
Mm-hmm.
Tay, are you writing this all down? And then what do you want to do for a study? I think this would be really fun to then focus on those sampling efforts to the masses on whatever our Q&A is on, and have people bring others to the table, those that attend the class.
Right.
Bring others to the table. Who do you know that has kids that would like to feel more comfortable using essential oils on kids? You know, we just had a team builder, a really gung-ho team builder, get pregnant for the first time. She's now towards the in the third trimester, but she got pregnant for the first time, and all of a sudden she didn't feel comfortable using the oils during pregnancy, and she stepped way back from using the oils during pregnancy and building her business because of a life change. She's now pregnant for the first time, and now suddenly she's questioning taking oils internally. Interesting experience, right? Where I wish I could go back and start having babies all over again, knowing what I know now, versus now that I'm this far through my kids, right? Wish I could start over again. Would have gone a lot differently. So, but it's interesting. So yeah, a Q&A on kids using the oils in kids.
Yeah, I think that would be great.
March, launch a study. What would we do for a study for kids?
I don't know how these studies work. Not really.
So I don't know. There's so much you could focus on kids. We might have to narrow it down. But what came to mind right then was a sample of steady or a sample of calmer.
Mhm.
And maybe we want to hone in that kids and talk about the kids collection specifically instead of all things about kids. I'm going to write that in. I'm going to put kids collection for February. And then launch a study, you know, who's struggling with obnoxious kids that probably we really need to just feed a little better, right? Not use so much processed food and fast foods, and they'll probably behave a little better. What are your thoughts there? That sound like a plan? Okay, so what's another focus that you want to do? So actually, let's stop there. Okay, so we've got November, December, January, February kind of planned out with an idea to roll out a study the following month, depending on what we talk about in the weekly Q&A or the monthly Q&A.
Okay. And then what's the theme for the end of November class?
I'm doing a Oils of the Bible class for that 4th week.
Oils of the Bible is on the 24th.
Yeah, and that's posted already.
Okay, Oils of the Bible. I'm just going to note that. Oh, no, the 26th, sorry.
Now,
26th.
here's something I want you to bring to the table as we do these monthly Q&As. I want you to bring to the table what you would like to see in the study. What samples you think we should be giving.
Mhm.
Okay, we want to make it uniform, but you can make it uniform for your team. Somebody else might want to study something different, but we want to make it fairly uniform if we're going to make a spreadsheet that we share. Okay?
Mhm.
And we're going to sample them just like we would sample anybody. We sample them and then we follow up in a couple of days. Have you had a chance to use that sample? What's been your experience? And we follow up with them. If it's not working, then we need to be willing to give another sample. So for mailing samples, we might say use one sample at a time, right? And then we're going to maybe give a couple of digestive samples or something if we're mailing all samples. So I want you to come to the table with what would you like to see in that study that follows the Q&A, so that before we do the Q&A, we know where we're headed with the study. Because I don't want to put together all the studies by myself. I want everybody filling in and helping me with that, okay?
Mhm.
Let me say that as I'm doing Elise Shedevy's call, I too am relaunching my business, okay? And so if I'm spending all my time at administration, that's not growing my business, right? And we've all got caught up in that. And so the idea is that we're all working together for the same common cause, and we're only spending 20% of our time in administration. Or is that what I want to say, administration? We're only spending 20% of our time in the overall working of our business and the other 80% building our business and prospecting. So that's really key. So I want to put out there also, and let's end with this and call it a day, okay? I want to put out there also that for those of us who have in the past hit the diamonds and above rank, as of January, we will be put on the page where we have been ranking. So if you were on the diamond page, the diamond Facebook page, and you haven't hit that diamond rank at least once in 2019, you're going to go back. They'll put you back on the gold and platinum page, okay? And they'll put you back on the diamond page and you get diamond again. I have been on the blue and presidential diamond page for years now, and it's been a blessing in my life, but that's going away unless I hit blue again by the end of the year. And so I do want to put out there, let's make this happen to where we can hit rank again in November and December. So I want you to put out there that you can hit rank again, all right? That you are shooting for the highest rank you've ever achieved in order to move beyond that. Is that a fair enough request? So that we can still have access to all this information. The biggest event of the year for Blues and Presidentials is the Blue and Presidential Summit, and that's in January. I'm not qualified to go, and they're going to be having a really big discussion on where this company is moving forward. I would love to be in on that, but right now I don't qualify. And so I'm going to put it out there that let's shoot for the highest rank we've ever achieved to hit that rank in November and December. Okay, so we can get back there and have access to what we've known, have access to our same account managers. My Blue Diamond account manager is Jace Palmer, and most all of you have benefited from him being my Blue Diamond account manager because they give favors to Blues and Presidentials that Diamonds and below do not get. And one of those is that expediting of the placements or exceptions. Okay, and that's going away in January for me. If I lose Jace, I'll go back to the Diamond account managers. He's already told me that. Emily's told me that. Okay, and there's a void there. There's a sadness. There's a missing out. Definite FOMO, fear of missing out experience for me on that being taken off the Blue Diamond and President's Diamond pages, and not having access to that Blue Diamond account manager. And so I'm going to put that out there. Okay, let's all work to implement what we're learning on Elise Chedevy's calls to get back to rank, to get back to our highest rank, and to move above that. Okay, I'd like to see more people qualifying for a leadership retreat in the spring. And the end of the qualification is supposed to be January, but the last 2 years they've extended that through the end of February, and leadership retreat is in March. I want to see everybody there. Okay, and so think about that. All right, so I want your commitment, and then I want to talk to you as soon as I get back from Prague so that we can have some strategic calls, and we can have another leadership call, and I can share what happens in Prague. I don't know even what to tell you right now. Okay, so anyway, I'll let you know about that. So, all right, comments, questions, concerns, how does that feel? Are you committed to getting back to rank? Is it possible? Can it happen? Can you make it happen? Don't look at it as possible. You know, one thing that Elise really talks about on those calls again and again and again is it's easier to start a new leg and start them out with these building principles that we didn't know about than it is to try to drag and pull along a leg that we've been milking for a long time. And I had to look at that again this month as I finished the end of the month and say, it's okay. It's okay. It wasn't okay. It wasn't okay that I didn't hit rank, okay? But I had to say, it's okay because I'm building a new leg. Okay, I'm building a new leg. I'm going to get back to rank. All right, so I want you to see that option as a viable option, as the best option, even though right now it might feel a little bit icky. Okay, and so I'm going to challenge you to implement what she's teaching. Relaunch your businesses this month, and let's get back to rank. Okay.
Hey, Debbie, do you have the folder from the presidentials for November?
I haven't seen a folder this morning at all.
Yeah, me neither. I was just kind of going through the Diamond page and I can't find it there. And that's where usually it gets posted.
Yeah, it's usually posted on both pages, the Diamonds and the Blues and Presidential Diamond page. So, oh, excuse me. Now I'm getting freezing. I'm sitting here shivering now. All right, last minute comments, thoughts, because it's been helpful today. I'm so grateful that you were able to jump on.
Me too. Sorry, I had to be silent. I was at the gym and then I had to take a shower.
Thank you, thank you.
But I'll be going through the transcript, but I still do want everybody's notes and thoughts, and please follow up with those things to both me and Debbie as you email them out.
Thank you, Tay. The best way to reach me in Prague is still going to be by text, I'm told. I don't know how it's going to work, but as long as I have access to Wi-Fi, I have access to Apple text messages. I don't know if that applies to everybody or not, but when I'm traveling, I seldom look at my emails, and I'm sorry to admit that, but I do. I seldom look at my emails when I'm traveling. So Facebook Messenger or text be the best way to reach me while I'm looking. Okay.
I found it, by the way, Debbie.
Awesome.
I found November.
Awesome. Awesome. You want to send it out in an email? Actually, just keep that link and post it in our leaders messenger, Marie.
Okay. Oh no.
Okay, Dana, anything else?
No, I think it sounds good.
Okay. You committed to get back to rank, Dana?
Oh, yes. Yes. I've been working with my gold account manager, and I don't want to lose him.
Yeah. Huge loss when you've made that connection. Yeah. I don't want you to lose him either. And the higher the rank, the fewer they have to service, and so you get more one-on-one time. And it's really wonderful to do a strategic call with your account manager and do a strategy session and have them guide you a little bit on how to move your team forward. In fact, I had one recently with Jace, and Marie, I want you to think about this. He said to me, Debbie, how long has it been since you've been to Canada? And I said, it's been a while. And he said, get back to Canada.
5 years? Probably.
He said, get back to Canada, right? I want you to think about that, all right?
Okay.
And see if I can get back to Canada, help you guys. And along the way, I do need to stop in South Dakota and work with that Hutterite community with Justin.
Mm.
In fact, I had an interesting experience helping another baby get here, a natural birth. And Sarah said, Debbie, you've done so much for me. What can I do for you? And I said, Sarah, someday I'm going to visit your colony and you can put me up. And her reply was this: oh, my home's not big enough to put you up, but we'll find a place for you, I'm sure. It was kind of a sweet, tender, humble reply. Yeah. My place is not big enough, but Debbie, we will find a place for you. So, all right, Wendy, any comments? Any parting comments?
No, no, I appreciate everybody's encouraging thoughts and ideas. It's awesome. Thank you.
Yeah. Wendy, you are at leadership this next spring. It's going to be in Phoenix.
Yeah,
March,
I really want to be there.
and you're going to be there. So we got to get you up to rank.
We're so close, so we can get there.
Absolutely. So we need, oh, Wendy, we need to find an Airbnb in your neck of the woods.
Oh, really? There should be plenty of those. But when's conference?
I think, I want to say March 11th. Does that sound right, Dana?
Yeah, let me look. We weren't finding much of anything in the direct Phoenix area for Airbnb, so we weren't sure how far away we needed to go.
Okay. Yeah, they're probably going to be out a little bit. You probably don't want anything in directly in town. Is it at the convention center?
It is.
So it is March 12th. Yep.
At Phoenix Convention Center.
Yeah.
Okay.
Actually, it starts the 11th. I'm showing Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday.
So
Okay.
11th, 12th, 13th, 14th, or 11th, 12th, 13th?
11th, 12th, and 13th.
Dana, we should get together. I can't do it today because I got to head to a meeting here, but we should, if you want to call me sometime and we can search and I can tell you what's going to be easy access and what's not. I'll tell you right now, that's a really tough time of year because that's when everybody's here. It's the busiest time of Phoenix. So just expect it. It's spring training. It's everything's going on.
Oh dear.
It's a hot time of year. So. But that's good. There's a lot of activity here. Lots of people for you to contact, that's for sure.
Awesome. Thank you.
Yeah, it's the most beautiful time to be here too, so you'll love the weather.
And this is the first time in a number of years now that they're coming together in only one leadership retreat. They've had an East and West Coast leadership retreat. Now we have one leadership retreat. We're coming together. There won't be an East or West Coast this year.
That's because everybody wants to be here in March. What can I say?
That's correct. So it sounds like it's a little bit crazy. We better get our flights right now, right?
Yeah, if you can find cheap flights, I'd get on them.
Has anybody seen that the leadership tickets are available yet? They're coming. I think they were supposed to be announced this week or something.
I haven't seen anything yet.
And for those, Wendy, for you, for instance, on this call, you want to buy your leadership ticket. They will reimburse you if you don't qualify, but buy it as soon as they open up, so you get one.
Oh, okay, good to know. I would assume you'd have to be qualified to buy it.
You want to buy your ticket right now as soon as they will be announcing that pretty quickly.
Okay.
Another thing I thought they were going to do on November 1st, was going to be the holiday products. All right, love you, ladies. Thank you for all you do. Thank you for being on this call today, and we'll talk soon.
Have a good day, everybody.
Bye.
Bye.